You're certain about this?
I spoke to her, Eric.
And Caroline told you that Ridge has chosen not to marry her?
Yes.
And now he's at Brooke's?
Well, I assume so, yeah.
So it's Ridge and Brooke?
That's a rather frightening thought to me.
Coexistence, Stephanie. You have no choice now.
Eric, I have to tell you that I honestly am not sure that's possible.
Oh, of course it's possible, Stephanie.
You know, she's a different person with you than she is with me.
You have a specific?
You know what she said to me this morning? She's always wondered about my relationship with Ridge.
Well, she's about to become your daughter-in-law.
Doesn't it bother you she would say something like that to me?
Yes, it bothers me, but do you know what bothers me more? You. With your social finesse and experience, to have allowed this to escalate this far. You used to be above this sort of thing, Stephanie.
Above this sort of thing?
Yes. She's a frightened young woman, for heaven's sake. And your son loves her, and that's her only fault.
Well, this frightened young woman has manipulated everybody in this family, including you.
Well, if she has, that's just part of her charm.
I can't believe you'd say something like that.
Ridge would not be marrying Brooke if it wasn't what he wanted to do.
Are you really this blind?
You know, I really resent your attitude.
And I really resent that you would defend someone that would be so disrespectful to your wife.
This someone is about to become your daughter-in-law.
Well, it doesn't give her the right to be disrespectful to me. Thank you, Eric. I always like to know exactly where I stand with my husband.
Hi. Is your father home? Yeah, he's actually back in the bedroom.
Was he here when Ridge arrived?
No.
Oof, that's good. I've talked to your father about being more tolerant with Ridge. I think I'm going to have to really get on him now. Ridge did come by.
Yeah, he did.
So, are congratulations in order?
No.
Caroline, I hope that doesn't mean...
Margo, I'm obviously not in a very good mood, so what do you think it means?
Well, I'm sorry.
Don't. You're not sorry.
What happened?
Nothing really happened. He just came over here and told me that he doesn't want to marry me.
Why? He loves you.
Obviously not. I don't know, maybe he does. I don't even know.
He must have told you why he made that decision.
Yeah, he did. It's because of Thorne. He doesn't want to hurt him.
Oh, well, that's not so bad, is it?
It isn't?
Give Thorne some time, he'll get over you, and then you and Ridge can be together the way you both want.
Ridge, come in. Well, I understand you've made your decision. Congratulations, son.
Congratulations.
Your mother phoned Caroline.
What exactly did Caroline say to Mother?
That you chose not to marry her.
So you just assumed from that I was over with Brooke?
Yes. Am I wrong in that assumption?
No, I did go over to Brooke's. But I didn't ask her to marry me.
You didn't?
No.
Well, I'm sorry, son. I just assumed that if it wasn't Caroline, that it
Look,
would...
Dad, I'm not ready to marry anyone. Just got back from a trip that really opened my eyes, excited me. I've got a lot of ideas about Forrester and the spring line now. Marriage just wouldn't be right for me right now. I hate to disappoint everyone.
Well, I'm not as disappointed as I am surprised.
Actually, so am I. I fully expected to decide between Brooke and Caroline. Then everything seemed to start happening. The days passed on, I wasn't making a decision. I realized it's because I'm so caught up in fashion, design, Europe, the business. I had to be honest with myself and recognize that marriage just wasn't a priority for me right now.
Well, it's your life. You have to make your decisions.
I can tell by the sound of your voice that you're disappointed. Aren't you, Dad?
Really, Caroline, what's the big deal?
Margo, aren't you being a little simplistic?
Love is simple. I know Ridge loves you, so unless there's something more.
Yeah, there is something more. There's another woman.
Did Ridge say anything about Brooke?
No, but the object when he was leaving for Europe was for him to choose between us.
And if he didn't choose you...
Then it's obvious who he did choose.
Okay, let's just say for a moment he didn't choose Brooke. Well, that would change things for you, wouldn't it?
Ridge? Are you in here? Brooke. What are you doing?
Did Ridge come home with you?
No.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm trying to pack.
You're moving out?
That's right.
Well, if you think this is going to change my attitude, you're wrong.
Your attitude?
About the marriage. It's not going to change my attitude. Although I'm pleased that you're leaving, even if it's just temporary.
Sure you are.
So when is the date? Tonight? Tomorrow? I'm sure you probably lobbied for a quickie in Reno. When is the big date, Brooke?
It's okay. I understand how you must feel.
Oh, son, look, I'm not trying to influence you.
But you wouldn't have been bothered if I'd married either one of those women, would you?
No, not at all. I'll admit that.
It wouldn't have been right, Dad. Not for me, for them, not at this time.
Well, then I suppose you did what you felt you had to do.
For the time being, yes.
The time being.
Believe it or not, someday I am going to marry.
And do you think that it will be Brooke or Caroline?
Maybe. Though I tend to doubt it.
Why?
Let's face it, I put both of those women through hell. They're both extremely angry at me and probably don't want to have anything to do with me. Frankly, I wouldn't blame them.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you feel that you ever lied to either one of them?
No. But I did lead them on, not intending to.
Well, I can't see how you led Caroline on. I mean, up until a few weeks ago, she was living with Thorne, and she's still married to him.
Brooke, on the other hand.
How is she taking it?
Oh, she's a brave little soul.
But she's hurting, isn't she?
Yes, she's hurting.
Oh, look, son, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make this any rougher on you than it already is, but I feel for Brooke. I feel for both of these girls, actually. And I feel for you. You've given up two very unique young women. And that's all I'm going to say.
I know that, Dad. And that's all I'm gonna say. I better get back to work.
What's the matter? Is the thrill gone now that you've won him? I'll tell you a little secret. The excitement is just about to begin.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that I'm going to continue to do what I think is best for my son and my family, as I've done all along.
As you've done all along?
Until he walks down that aisle and says those marriage vows with you, there is nothing I'm going to leave unsaid or undone to stop this. Nothing.
More slander and lies, I suppose.
I've never lied about you. I never had to. You are your mother's daughter. You have no respect for family or fidelity. You just take whatever you want.
You leave my mother out of this.
Your mother is my trump card. When I tell Ridge that your mother seduced his father, that's the day that you are completely destroyed.
Don't you ever tell Ridge about that. Do you hear me, Stephanie?
Don't you ever marry him, and I won't.
All right. I won't marry Ridge.
What?
I said that I won't marry Ridge if you don't tell him about Eric and my mother.
Margo, it doesn't do any good to talk about this hypothetically. I mean, Ridge has made his decision.
All right. So Ridge didn't choose you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to marry Brooke.
Well, you know what? Even if he doesn't marry Brooke, it's over between him and me.
I don't believe that. And I don't think you believe it either. It's never going to be over between you and Ridge. Not unless he marries someone else. And I'm not so sure that's necessarily about to happen.
Margo, I'm just not one to wait months on end for a man.
Even if that man is rich.
Maybe if we were engaged, but we're not. He doesn't have any intention of marrying me.
Not until things stabilize with Thorne.
Well, there's a lot more to that situation than you know.
Come on, Caroline. The point is that you love each other. It's not going to be forever, and then the two of you will be together.
You must really want me out of this apartment.
What are you talking about?
Well, isn't that why you're saying all of this? Because you want me to leave?
My motives are not the issue here.
Then what is the issue? Because if it's me and Ridge, That's over. It's history. And besides, you know, you're not really one to advocate waiting around. You didn't wait for Clark. You went right ahead and married my father. But I'm not going to do something as rash as that. But I do intend to go on with my life.
Meaning?
Margo, as soon as my divorce is final, I will move out of this apartment, all right?
So you think you can go on without him?
I have loved Ridge for a very long time. But if there's one thing I can say about myself, it's that I know when something's over how to move on. It's going to be difficult, but I'll get through it. I will get over Rich Forrester. So please do me a favor and let's not talk about him anymore. He isn't in love with me. If he was, I'd be with him right now. And that's all I need to know.
You'll give up marrying Ridge if I don't tell him that your mother seduced my husband.
Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to finish packing. What's so funny?
You never cease to amaze me.
You never cease to amaze me either, Stephanie.
Well, you know, sooner or later I'm going to talk to Ridge and find out.
Find out what?
What it is you think you're hiding. Oh, what a day this is. What a day. He didn't ask you to marry him. That's why you're here. That's why this attitude. I'm going to be free of you. Don't let me interrupt your packing. Please, don't just stand there. The sooner you're packed and the sooner you're out of this house, the sooner I'm rid of you. Go ahead, pack. Do you know how long I have waited for this? You and your mother made my life a nightmare. But I got rid of her, and I'm getting rid of you. You know, contrary to what you believe, I am really not that possessive of Ridge. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send word out that Ridge is free and available. I'm going to find every beautiful, articulate, intelligent young woman in the state of California, and I'm going to invite them here. I'm going to have dinners and dances and parties, just the way we used to do before you came on the scene. You stole my son just like your mother stole my husband. Only I got the last laugh. There really is justice in the land, isn't there? Leave. I don't ever want to look on your face again.
I promise you, Stephanie, you're gonna pay for this. Someday, somehow, I am going to make you pay. I swear it.